You got to die for Jesus. You're going to call that light? Yes. Why? Because I look to the unseen.
及时关注今日报最新影片，欢迎订阅我们，并且打开小铃铛通知提醒。您的支持是我们最大的鼓励。
We do not lose heart because this light momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory. Look at this, he says. Look at this. What do you see when you look at verse 17? You see him calling his affliction, which lasted a lifetime, momentary. Paul, you realize I'm 67, you're supposed to retire, right? Paul suffered until the sword severed his head from his body. There was no year or two of fishing or golf. If Paul was going to have a retirement, it would be post-beheading. So if he didn't have this, he had nothing. He said, if there's no resurrection from the dead, I'm an idiot. That's what he said, 1 Corinthians 15. He called his lifelong beatings and shipwreck and sleepless nights and agony for the church, he called it momentary. You see that there in verse 17? This light momentary. He called it light and he called it momentary. That's crazy. That's not what you see. You look at it, you say, that's 60 years, 50. I'm not sure how old he was when he died. Long time, 20, 30 years of relentless imprisonments and persecution. And he calls it momentary, and he calls it light. And you see also, don't you, the contrast between momentary in verse 17 is eternal, and the contrast with light is weight. So let's read it again. Notice those parallels. His light momentary affliction is preparing for him an eternal, that corresponds to momentary, weight, that corresponds to light, of glory. So he could see, really? You can't see, but he saw beyond the grave, according to promise, he saw glory. The glory of God that would be seen and the glory of God that would be given to him. And it made his lifelong suffering look momentary, and it made the weight of the pain look light. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. You are kidding me. You got to die for Jesus. You're going to call that light? Yes. Why? Because I look to the unseen. What? Glory. Glory beyond the grave that's going to so make up for this brief life. It will look momentary and it will look light. That's the unseen you got to look at.